All right, what's up, everybody? We're back again. This is Mike's weather page. I am in Melbourne, Florida right now. Streaming live here on YouTube and Facebook. Um, Storm is getting closer, officially a hurricane. I'm still seeing the eye wall is kind of where I'm heading. It's got a very large eye right now. Um, Pressure's dropping though. It's got me really curious if this thing's trying to strengthen here as it approaches landfall. Nothing Ian like. When I say strengthen, it doesn't mean it's turning into a major hurricane or anything, but it could be sneaking up there a little bit. What it also means is it'll maintain strength through the state, giving more storms throughout the state. So keep an eye on that. And there's also another patch of storms currently, very uh, north of center, going to be nearing west or east central Florida, heading right towards the Cape area. Daytona Beach, a little farther, a little south. You'll see it if you look up the radar, but there's a lot of lightning associated with this outer band, and definitely going to be some storms to watch north of center. This one's on the radar now. You can see it real well on satellite. Hurricane hunters are actually got two planes that looks like flying around out there right now. They got one down in the center, and they got one checking out this upper band, and that's a strong upper band. This thing almost looks subtropical again, with not a lot of convection around the center right now, but a lot of convection forming to the north. And that's something to think about. If you're north of the system right now, flip on spaghetti models and click on the infrared satellite there. Tropical Tidbits has one too, and you can see what I'm talking about. There's a very large developing band that is well north of center. As far as center goes, it just crossed Bahamas, and center's still packing the bigger winds. That's where I'm heading. The using a little bit of windy weather nerds, tropical tidbits, NOAA, trying to figure out where I want to go. It does appear that our system maybe somewhere around Vero Beach could see maybe some of the strongest winds northward, maybe Sebastian. Uh, so the eye could possibly be very wide here as it approaches, meaning the eye wall would stretch quite a few miles north. So it does look like somewhere around Vero Beach area we could possibly see maybe like an official landfall of this thing. Little maybe just a little south of that, maybe. So it looks like maybe between Fort Pierce, definitely between Fort Pierce and Sebastian, but Vero, Vero Beach is kind of right there. But the eye itself, the strongest winds are to the north, and those folks will feel the effects of the most amount of surge and winds. The pressure drop, you know, definitely is interesting. That usually takes time for winds to catch up to that, but the pressure can still also bring in surge regardless of those wind speeds. Sometimes a drop in pressure actually is an inhibitor or enabler of increased surge. Um, so luckily, we're not exactly on a high tide right now, but we'll still have those waters uh, higher than normal right now. Hey, and I was sitting at my local ABC here, or no, not my local, somebody's local ABC, and got a knock on the window, about scared the crap out of me. Literally, it literally gave me a heart attack. It was a local sheriff, and oh, Shelly just said the Fort Pierce bridges are closed. All right. the sheriff was wondering what the heck I was doing. Then he's like, "Oh yeah, my wife follows you." I'm like, "Oh, cool." Um, so apparently we're probably this is kind of an eerie road, man. We're right along the water here. Technically, we're on Palm Bay. I'm on A1A. Probably not the safest place to be when this thing comes ashore. I would think this would probably flood right here. So definitely, I don't want to be on this road much longer. Um, but we're nearing we're south of Melbourne Beach. A couple things I'm noticing, again, when I say stronger doesn't mean category 3, 4. It just means stronger than we're in the 970 range with pressure, and that proves our almighty HW Wharf model might have been correct on this low pressure. It's real important to look at tropical tidbits data right now. We'll start to see what the hurricane hunters are finding. They got two planes out there, one on the north side, one on the south side, more towards the eye. Um, the light lavender is what I'm looking for to see if, well, what the heck? Now we got one up there checking out. Plane took off and now it's over there flying around Daytona. Strong winds, though, definitely are approaching the Daytona Beach, Volusia County area southward. There's a big band convection out there in the Atlantic brewing. And unfortunately, we're right around high tide right now. So, yeah, you know, nobody knows exactly. Oh man, I might be getting pulled over again here. I got somebody riding my tail. Um, we won't know the exact, damages until morning with the seawalls. I'm going to head back that way in the morning. But high tide's about right now, and they're starting to get their first big bands of storms coming in. So it's gonna be rough along the beaches there again. Round number 2 happening right now in the Daytona area, Volusia County. Just looking at satellite, you can really see it. Big old uh, convection firing, tropical style bands setting up on the outside of the eye wall. So that's going to push a lot of surge in towards the coastline, way north of center, happening here real soon. It is going to cause effects to the state, no doubt about it. This thing maintains 970, 980 pressure. It's going to be bringing storms tomorrow to watch. We'll have squalls throughout the day. We'll have stormy weather making it all the way to the west coast, and we got tropical storm warning way south of the Skyway now. They're expecting these bands to be rolling in. Um, First tree in the road. They're expecting these bands to be rolling in. You know, Coming in off that Gulf. That's why we have tropical storm warning south of the Skyway. Gonna be curious about surge tomorrow over on the west coast side with these storms out in the Gulf of Mexico spiraling in, and then we got people up in the Big Bend area along the uh, even parts of the Panhandle potentially gonna get some storms tomorrow afternoon, nighttime. This thing is gonna move up pretty quick. It's gonna curve, it's gonna dissipate, and then it's gonna bring in all kinds of junk Georgia northeastward as this thing merges with an existing front. Storm Prediction Center highlighting an area off the Florida coast today, right now. So definitely tornadoes are definitely possible in these squall lines right now that you're seeing on satellite, especially central parts of the East Coast. You got that squall line coming in. It's good to use Weather Nerds. I have the Weather Nerds satellite linked on my site. It has lightning data on there. You can see the flashes of lightning, which indicates those squall lines are definitely strong right now. Those are the ones that can have embedded tornadoes to watch out for. All that chances increases tomorrow as we go north, and then it increases Friday uh, more for mid-Atlantic. So 3 days of tornado chances with our system, even though it might look ragged once it crosses back up through Georgia. But the bottom line is that we're still going to see a chance of storms coming in off of the Atlantic for the East Coast to watch out for. So. So yeah, this pressure drop's got me curious. Looks like the Hurricane Hunter actually flew north. They only made a couple. Oh, they had 977 past of the third one. That's good. So it hadn't dropped anymore. So we had a 96, 95, 97. Had a little wiggle to the west too, but it's generally in that west northwest motion right now. If you look at the spaghetti models and zoom in, I mean, every single spaghetti model is almost exactly the same. And with an eye wall this big, it really doesn't matter the exact location of the eye because the eye is so big. Some of the effects are going to be felt, way past center. So, but as far as spaghetti model tracks goes, storms are all steered by upper level winds, and all the models are confident on this track. So we will see that that west, that northwest motion basically. So it looks like we are technically now. Let me zoom out a little bit. We're in Floridana Beach, Floridana Beach, close to the Indian River Lagoon State Park. A lot of water in the roads. Yeah, some of these rain bands are very impressive looking on satellite. So, the isolated flooding is definitely going to be an issue. No doubt about it. I mean, we're not seeing those 20-inch Ian numbers like we talked about, but we will see flooding that you normally see with tropical systems. And that includes 4, 5, 6, could get close to double digits for some folks if we get rain training in off the water. When this thing turns diagonal and the eye starts going diagonal, there's going to be some places that actually experience rain training as our eye feeds in a feeder band, and you get that same flow spin coming in and doesn't move much. The eye moves, but the feeder band doesn't move. The feeder band's moving with the eye, but the tail end of the feeder band's still in the same exact spot, and they call that rain train rain training. All right, so now we're in Candlewood Pines. That must be a subdivision. I don't know where I'm going. We're in Brevard County right now, by the way. Brevard County, Florida, obviously. Trying to see what our hurricane does. It's a minimal Cat 1 right now, 75 miles an hour. I think the hurricane hunters flew north to check out all that stuff going into. It looks like it's going back home. They are. All right, so hurricane hunter going back home. All right, maybe we'll have another one now. I know they fly missions the whole the whole night now. They'll be flying missions in. So a lot of wind to the north, man. There's going to be a lot of stormy weather coming in towards you soon on the east coast of Florida, north of the eye. Guaranteed, man. There's solid convection showing up now that's going to really surprise some folks, I bet you. But I'm hanging towards the eye here. I'm going down to the eye. We're going to the eye. We're going to see what kind of winds we get. Then we're going to head north. See if we have any tornado threats tomorrow. Apparently, Reed Timmer's in town, and he is going to track the storm through the state, see if he can catch any tornadoes. Usually, tropical tornadoes aren't your typical EF2 threes. I mean, I'm sure occasionally there's been some, but usually they're Doppler spun up indicators that are just mainly winds that the radar has a hard time distinguishing if it's a true, tornado on the ground or not. There's been storms that we've had tornado warning after tornado warning, very few verified, but there's been storms that were the opposite and they did verify it. So just got to watch the squall lines. Radar is your friend. So I don't know where I'm going to go right now. I think I might go. Don't know where I'm going. A little bit of me wishes I stayed where I was at, but it really wasn't anything to show. I mean, I went to the Windy app. Never really done this before, but I actually went to the Wind School map, and it's a good tool, and it updates pretty good. And you can see on that app surface winds now, and definitely the strongest winds are around that eye wall north. So that's where I'm gonna be camping out here soon enough. We'll see. Shelley said Sebastian Bridge is closed. Are these the bridges that get me off of A1A? So I'm stuck out here? That's not good. It's, what would that be? I don't know what bridges. That must be the one. Wabasso? Is that the town? Wabasso Beach. That bridge is closed. How the heck do I get off the island here? Everything's closed. What the hell? Well, let's see. My phone's blowing up here too. Let's see. Oh man. All right. So let's see if there's any updates weather-wise I can report. Um, Wabasso Road. Okay, maybe we'll go there. I should probably speed it up a little bit. So yeah, I mean they're pretty much set on the intensity. I mean, it, somebody said they had a reported sustained wind in Bahamas 87, but I don't know if that's official or not, so can't really report it. But Bahama got some pretty good damage from this system down in the Bahamas. Shelly's be my little navigator here. I don't like this road. This is kind of the road to nowhere. I don't know. Weather chat's kind of dead, man. I don't know. There's not a lot of people talking